You feel your heart racing for no obvious reason. Your chest is tight, your breath is shallow, your thoughts are spinning. A part of you knows you are not in real danger, yet your body behaves like your life is on the line. People around you say, just relax, as if anxiety were simply a mindset problem. But neuroscience tells a very different story. Anxiety is not madness, and it is not weakness. It is your brain and nervous system doing exactly what they were designed to do, only in the wrong situations and at the wrong volume. At the core of anxiety is your threat detection system. One of the key players is the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure deep in the brain. Its job is to constantly scan for danger, even when you are not consciously thinking about it. The amygdala does not deal in nuance. It does not care about your goals, your plans, or your logic. It cares about one thing only: survival. When it senses potential threat, it sounds the alarm, fast and loud. When that alarm goes off, it activates the hypothalamus and the HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal system. This launches a cascade of stress hormones, especially cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate spikes. Blood is diverted to your muscles. Your pupils dilate. Your digestion slows down. This is the classic fight or flight response. In an actual life or death situation, this is exactly what you would want. It makes you fast, focused, and ready to act. The problem is not that you have this system. The problem is that for many of us, this system is stuck in overdrive. Modern life feeds this overdrive. Our brains evolved for short bursts of danger followed by long periods of rest. A predator appears, your system explodes into fight or flight, then the threat ends and your body returns to baseline. Today, the predators never fully leave. Bills, notifications, deadlines, conflicts, social media, unresolved trauma, and existential fear all pile on. The amygdala cannot tell the difference between a real attack and an email that feels like rejection. The same circuitry fires. The same hormones flood your body again and again. Trauma intensifies this pattern. If you grew up in an environment where safety was unpredictable, your nervous system adapted. Maybe there was emotional neglect, abuse, addiction, or sudden loss. Your amygdala learned that danger can come at any time, from anyone. It became hypervigilant, scanning constantly for the next hit of chaos. Over time, this rewiring becomes your default. You may live in a relatively safe environment now, yet your body behaves as if the past is still happening in the present. This is why anxiety often feels irrational. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, might say, "I am safe. This is just a meeting. This is just a conversation." But your amygdala is not listening to that reasoning. It is listening to old associations stored in your body. A certain tone of voice may remind your nervous system of old criticism. A delayed message may echo abandonment. A small mistake may trigger memories of being shamed. You are not overreacting by choice. Your system is reacting by conditioning. Neurotransmitters also play a part. GABA, a calming neurotransmitter, helps regulate neural activity and keep the brain from firing out of control. Serotonin and dopamine influence mood, motivation, and a sense of reward. When these systems are imbalanced, your brain's ability to calm itself after stress is compromised. It is like having a car with a powerful accelerator and weak brakes. Anxiety is not simply thinking negatively. It is often a mismatch between the intensity of the alarm and the strength of the calming mechanisms. On a deeper level, anxiety is tied to your sense of identity and safety in the world. If you learned early on that love was unpredictable, that your needs were too much, or that the world is fundamentally unsafe, your brain etched those beliefs into its wiring. Thoughts like, "I am not safe," "I will be abandoned," or "something bad is coming" become automatic background programs. You might not even hear them consciously, but your body responds as if they are absolutely true. Every unfamiliar situation becomes a possible threat. There is also a spiritual dimension to anxiety that neuroscience alone cannot fully explain. Sometimes, anxiety appears when you are living out of alignment with your deeper self. You stay in a job that kills your creativity, a relationship that drains your spirit, a lifestyle that numbs your truth. Your nervous system feels the dissonance. On a soul level, anxiety can be a protest against self-betrayal. It whispers, or sometimes screams, "Something about this life you are living is not right for you." Of course, Not all anxiety is profound spiritual signaling. Sometimes it is simply a sensitized nervous system reacting to too much input. But approaching anxiety as an enemy to be crushed often backfires. Your amygdala is like a frightened child. When you yell at it, shame it, or try to suppress it, it becomes more frantic. When you approach it with curiosity, compassion, and steady boundaries, it gradually learns that it does not have to scream so loudly to be heard. Chronic anxiety takes a real toll on the body. Long-term activation of the stress response can contribute to high blood pressure, weakened immune function, digestive problems, sleep disturbances, and chronic pain. The body is not separate from the mind. It is the stage on which your inner patterns play out. When anxiety is ignored or misunderstood, it often moves from being an invisible experience in your thoughts to a very visible experience in your health. So what does it actually mean to heal anxiety from a neuroscience perspective? It means teaching your brain and nervous system new patterns of safety. It means strengthening the pathways that signal, "I am safe," and gently weakening the pathways that scream, "I am under attack." This is not a quick mental trick. It is a gradual retraining process involving your thoughts, your body, your relationships, and your environment. Top-down approaches work with your thoughts and beliefs. Practices like cognitive restructuring, journaling, and mindful awareness help you see the stories your mind is telling. When a wave of anxiety hits, you can learn to pause and observe. My heart is racing. My mind is predicting disaster. But what are the actual facts? This does not mean dismissing your feelings. It means introducing your prefrontal cortex back into the conversation, so the amygdala is not running the show alone. Bottom-up approaches work directly with the body and nervous system. Slow breathing, especially extended exhales, activates the parasympathetic branch, the rest and digest system. Grounding techniques, like feeling your feet on the floor, noticing the weight of your body, or holding a comforting object, sends signals of safety through your sensory pathways. Movement, like walking, shaking, or yoga, helps discharge excess adrenaline and reset your state. These are not little tricks. They are biological levers. Connection is another powerful regulator. Your nervous system is wired for co-regulation, which means it calms down in the presence of another regulated, safe person. This is why talking to a trusted friend, therapist, or partner can ease anxiety even when nothing external changes. Safe eye contact, a calm voice, a caring touch can all send powerful signals to your brain that you are not alone in the storm. Isolation tends to amplify anxiety. Connection tends to soften it. Spiritual practices can also support this rewiring when they are grounded and not used to bypass real issues. Meditation, prayer, contemplative silence, and rituals of gratitude can expand your sense of perspective. They remind you that you are more than your anxious thoughts, that there is a deeper awareness underneath the noise of the mind. However, spirituality that shames anxiety as lack of faith or low vibration often makes things worse. True spiritual compassion welcomes your anxiety as a part of you that is scared, not as proof that you are failing. Over time, with consistent practice, your brain changes. This is neuroplasticity in action. The amygdala can shrink in overactivity. The prefrontal cortex can strengthen its ability to regulate. New associations of safety can be built where there used to be only fear. Places that once triggered panic can gradually become neutral. Situations that felt impossible can become manageable. This is not about becoming a person who never feels anxiety. It is about becoming someone who is not ruled by it. Understanding what anxiety really is changes the story. Instead of seeing yourself as broken, you can see yourself as a nervous system that adapted to survive. Instead of fighting your body, you can begin to work with it. Anxiety then becomes a signal to check in, to ground, to adjust your life, not an automatic sentence of doom. It might still visit, but it does not have to live at the center of your identity anymore. If this resonates with you, let it be a gentle reminder. You are not weak for feeling anxious. You are not failing at life because your heart races or your hands shake. Your brain is doing its best with the information and patterns it has. You can give it new patterns. You can teach it that safety is possible again. One breath, one choice, one moment of self-compassion at a time. Subscribe for more on trauma, nervous system healing, shadow work, and spiritual awakening. Like if you saw yourself in this explanation. Share with someone who believes their anxiety makes them defective. You are not your alarm system. You are the awareness that can learn to hold it, understand it, and eventually calm it. Your anxiety is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of understanding how deeply your brain and body have always been trying to keep you alive.